Welcome to HGC number 57, I believe. We start off the show hot here. No pre-show matches. I'm gonna rush through these last 2 weeks of the year, so that way I can do the year-end review and the Ace debut. As I feel like these 2 weeks are kind of like SmackDown before moving back to USA Network, where it's weird to build up to a TV show on the TV show on that's going to be on when it's going to be on a different network or Raw going to Netflix. How like they kept on building up to the Netflix debut and not the actual show. But anyways, next to this episode, and next one will probably be pretty quick. So let's get through it. Here we have Ripcord instigating Eric Tyler and Sid Streets to face each other for number one contendership on the Ace debut, as he will face the winner of that match. This is just a way to continue the Sid Street's versus Untouchables feud, as well as to interject Ripcord with his history with Untouchables, as well as Sid Street's. Fantastic segment throughout. This is also where the announcement I would have of them acknowledging the switch to Ace. Um, and I'd have Ripcord take credit for it. It is like a long angle, 10 minutes. And I'd have Ripcord and the Syndicate say it's because of us, it's because I'm the champion, all the networks want us. I feel like that's a good way to, without having an authority figure, just like, hey guys, here's what's happening. It's a good way to kind of just acknowledge it. But we follow that up with Brian Vesey in a rare singles match that I want to utilize a little bit more. He defeats Danny Rushmore in a pretty good match, with no heat really behind as to why they're fighting. I would have what's it called? The announcers talk about like the Vesey's history with RP Jr. and Jesse Christian, but pretty solid matchup here. We follow that up right away with Troy Tornado defeating Alex Braun. Um, I think this is the third time I've had this match. I don't really remember. Um, yeah, just get Troy a win going into the Ace debut. I kind of have an idea for the Cruiserweight title on the Ace debut. It's just a matter of what babyface. And yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to there. We have Romeo Heartthrob kind of doing the duality thing here, where he goes up to Electrico and says, "Last week I was gonna have your back versus that no good guy taking my name, but I was sick. I couldn't make it to the show." And Electrico, you can't see, but he rolls his eyes. You can't see because he's wearing a mask, or he has eye holes in the mask, but like it's pretty hard, I imagine. Just kind of continuing the Romeo Heartthrob Blue Blazer gimmick here. We have Monty Walker kind of questioning why Jeb Langley would even consider joining up with Professor Nero. This is to kind of give the fellow babyface perspective, and Monty Walker has now seen it happen with Jesse Christian. So he's takes a little bit of I don't want to say a vigilant step here of like, hey, what are you doing? Like kind of thing. And this is the first time they interacted, so Jeb Langley's kind of like standoffish to it, but it's just a way to continue this storyline going a little bit further. Here we have Damien Carville. It's really windy all of a sudden. I don't know if the mic's going to pick it up. I'm recording next to a window, but nonetheless, Damien Carville cuts promo on how Steve Flash deserved the beatdown that he got, and he regrets nothing. Basic, just of, I beat him up, so he had it coming. We have the Island Boys, Richard Blood and Rico Santana defeating Black Serpent Cult. This is just a continuation to get Richard Blood and Rico Santana. I kind of put them in the background. I want to bring them back out in the forefront here a little bit over the next coming weeks, as Rico Santana is one of our most popular acts, believe it or not. We have RP Jr. again refusing to acknowledge any deal or anything with BLZ Bub when Jesse Christian confronts him about it. We have Charlie Homicide defeat Jason Jackson in a wild brawl and a pretty good match for what it is, and number one contendership for the hardcore title. So the hardcore title, we have Charlie Homicide versus Frankie Future. We have Sid Streets versus Eric Tyler, number one contendership match. And then, like I said, we might have the cruiserweight match. There's two more matches I'll probably do. Here we just have Eric Tyler kind of telling Untouchables. Yeah, the mic definitely just picked up that wind. Sorry about that. We have Eric Tyler kind of just going off on Untouchables. Joel Bryant lost last week versus Richard Blood, but I kind of want him to just be a jerk to them here. No long-term reasons for it right now, but it's just to plant a seed. and to give a little bit of motivation behind Joel, Paul, and Robert as they fell in the background over the past couple weeks. So this gives them motivation to, make a name for themselves, so to speak. And then we follow that up with Dusty Streets interrupting the Tommy Cornell, Brent Hill, Barry Bowen thing. Um, so if you remember, Tommy Cornell and Brent Hill been kind of going at it passively here and there the past couple weeks. We have Dusty Streets kind of mocking that and going at it and being like, guys, set it aside, like just being sarcastic. I would have him be a little bit of a lot of my heels are manipulative and gaslighty. A lot of my baby faces are sarcastic and funny and haha kind of guys. But like I would just have Dusty Streets here, be like, I was listening to you guys. Me and my brother went through our own thing. Maybe you guys need to have a fight. And what this leads to is Barry Bowen actually stepping up to challenge Dusty Streets. So next week, our last main event of the year is Barry Bowen versus Dusty Streets, which I have no idea what to expect with that. And then we have Liberty defeat Dark Eagle to retain the international title in his open challenge. I felt like Dark Eagle would put up a great match here with Liberty, even though they're both baby faces. And we'll use the creative finish because it's literally about to expire in 3 days. So solid matchup there to retain the title. Another solid show. We're pretty much coasting to get to that 80 rating, which is fantastic. We finally hit 67, and some of those areas, like I said, would probably be. I thought 68 was possible, but 67 seems very like a good sticking point. All right, let's see if we beat SWF. Oh my lord, what a terrible, terrible main event. So they signed Firestarter Rush. That was they signed him in October. So they like their roster is pretty beat down, and they had to replenish. So it'll be interesting to see how they push people and retain people. Like Johnny Martin should be a guy that they get behind pretty quickly, and his popularity's been sort of slowly going up. I'm gonna do a tie-in with Dave here pretty soon. That'll be a little bit of a hint. And I would have 100% used him to be part of that, but he left. And let's see here, Vengeance, aka Scalded Bones, another slow, steady rise. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilize him. Mass Patriot would be a fun guy to book to like team with Damien Carville. There's no specific reason as to why I'm waiting to re-sign the pay-per-view deals. I just haven't really looked at it yet, and our next pay-per-view is not for another 2 months, so I don't really care. Let's see here. We'll check. Basically, Troy and Richard Blood, and then let you guys go. And then we got two more or one more episode till the year-end review, and then the what's it called the the debut in Ace. So Troy Tornado went up two, defeating Alex Braun, who didn't go down at all. Alex Braun was kept strong. But yeah, so at the Ace debut, we got the number one contendership match between Sid Streets and Eric Tyler. We are going to have Frankie Future versus Charlie Homicide. Next week, we'll announce a six-man tag match. We'll probably announce Damien Carville versus Steve Flash next week as well. And then I'm thinking like a cruiserweight match. But I got to debate who is going to be in that cruiser. I kind of want to do not a throwback to the Jushin Thunder Liger and Brian Pillman debut, like the WCW Nitro debut, but kind of. But I want to do it differently. Like, because, we could just bring an international guy, have him face Steve Flash would be the comparison. Although that's, Pillman, Mike skills weren't prevalent at that point. But nonetheless, we'll cut it off here. Thank you guys for watching. One more show till the year-end review, and then the big debut on Ace. And I'll talk to you guys next time.